everybody, Lara here. Happy Sunday. Welcome back to my kitchen. It is Soup Sunday, and tonight I'm really excited to be co-hosting with my good friend Susan Smith, and she has a middle name that I can't pronounce. But we're streaming live on the Lavana Plate channel and the Unshakable Susan Smith channel, because I know that Susan's been working really hard on eating healthy. And she mentioned a little while ago that she hadn't cooked any Thai food yet. And this is a super simple, really delicious, healthy Thai sweet potato and red lentil soup that I'm gonna make for my husband and I. And then I'm gonna whip together something that's a little more kid friendly. And if you've seen me prep on the 5 Dinners 1 Hour page, it's kind of a takeoff on all of the great pizzas that they make over there. So as soon as I've got the soup simmering, I'm gonna whip together a really delicious chicken Caesar pizza. So I'm actually gonna cook tonight, which we don't usually do, so I hope the sound from this little burner doesn't make too much noise. And I'm just gonna see if this is live, or I'm gonna make James come over and see if it's live. So we're gonna start with our onion, and pretty much all of my soups start with onions. And we're gonna get that sauteing just so it's a little bit tender. And I really love this soup because it's really fast. Only actually takes 20 minutes from start to finish, and you can eat it right away. It's also freezable and super easy to make, like a double batch. So in the fall, when school starts and life is super crazy, I often make a soup and then I make a double batch, so that on weeks when I can't quite get to Soup Sunday, I have something as a backup. So I've put about 2 tablespoons of olive oil in my big soup pot over here. And I like to use a big Dutch oven, so if I'm making that big batch, it'll hold the whole thing. Okay, so that's my, just a regular old cooking onion. And I haven't cooked on this induction burner thing very often, so I don't know which way goes hotter, so I'll be able to tell in a minute. So while that onion is cooking, I'm just gonna chop up the potato, the sweet potato. The thing with the sweet potato is I don't want it to really disintegrate when it's cooked down in my soup. The lentils kind of absorb into the broth, and the sweet potatoes, I still want to be able to have pieces. And sweet potatoes don't take really long to cook, so I'm actually going to make them a little bit bite-sized. So then this is really kind of a hearty soup. And I'm going to put those guys over. And sweet potatoes are really great for you. High in fiber, high in beta-carotene, high in vitamin C. So all good, healthy things. And even though this says Thai, what's really nice is it uses red curry paste, which gives it the Thai flavor. It's the least spicy of the Thai curries. And I used to talking and actually cooking, so we'll sort this out. So my onions have sauteed a little bit, and I don't know if we can see that over there. No, we can't. So I'm gonna move over. I don't really have anything else to chop. Okay, now can we see?
You will.
James will make us see. And then I'm going to put in my garlic. And already with onions and garlic, you know it's going to taste good. And then this is pre-made Thai red curry paste. So it's not really spicy, and it doesn't taste anything like Indian curry. But the most common Thai dish really is probably pad Thai. And so Thai is kind of sweet and sour a little bit together. And this will get the sweetness from the coconut milk we're going to put in there. So I'm just going to put about 2 tablespoons. And if you're worried about the heat, you could just put 1 tablespoon. It's really fragrant. It has chilies in it, and garlic, and ginger, and lemongrass, and it's a really yummy. And poor James has the flu, but he loves this kind of soup. So I don't know, maybe this will be good for him after we're done. And then I'm going to throw my sweet potatoes in there, and you'll see how simple this is. Oh my goodness, Nora is watching from Singapore. Nora is a dear old friend who just moved to Singapore from Toronto with her husband and her 2 kids. And we miss her. Okay, so those are just going to saute a little bit. And then these are my lentils, and this is about 1.5 cups of red lentils. And red lentils are excellent for you. Like a whole cup of them only has 230 calories in the whole thing. Really high in fiber, so you'll feel full. And low fat, like no fat. So it's excellent. And I have to turn this guy down. Okay, so I add the lentils in, and they don't stay in this form. Once you add the coconut milk and the broth, you'll see that really they just make it a nice, thick soup. Okay, so that was simple. That took us like 5 minutes. And then all we have to add to this is some cilantro. Now this is funny because I couldn't find any cilantro at the grocery store. So I'm using dried cilantro, and then when I serve it, I'll go to another store tomorrow and I will get some cilantro that's fresh, because that gives it kind of like that lemony flavor. All right, in go our tomatoes. So it's just 1 big can of diced tomatoes and chicken stock. If you wanted this to be vegetarian or vegan, you could use vegetable stock. So chicken stock and a stir. And then coconut milk, which is a really typical Thai ingredient. And then I'm going to turn the heat up, and I'm going to put the lid on, and I'm going to let this simmer, and in 20 minutes you would have dinner done. Almost forgot my most important rule. You have to season with salt, and I like to use kosher salt and pepper. And I'm going to leave it at that. And I lost, oh, there's my spoon. And you can see that the broth is really pretty thin right now, but the lentils are what's going to thicken it up. And a little bit of the starch from the sweet potatoes too. Okay, so I'm going to have this. I'm going to put my lid on it, and I'm going to move her over. So 10 minutes, and that's going to make enough soup for James and I to take to work for the week. And then we don't have to like cheat on our diets and go out and eat bad food. Okay, so since that was so simple, and I do this every Sunday, I make soup. And during the school year, I do something called pick and choose lunches. And I'm going to be doing some of those live as we head into the school year. And you can join me in the kitchen. But for now, I'm going to make a really fast pizza. So all that's in this pizza is cut up chicken, and you could use the rotisserie chicken if you wanted. You could use chicken breasts that you had broiled in the oven. This is just for the kids for this week because they're still off school, and I come home and all they've eaten is like ramen, that terrible ramen. Okay, so that's like it's like a half a pound of chicken. And this is a combination of Parmesan cheese and mozzarella cheese. And I'm putting it all in this baggie because I'm used to prepping this stuff and leaving it in the fridge for the kids. That way all they have to do is take out a pizza crust and they can pop it in the oven. So to that, I'm going to add some bacon. So this is partially cooked already, and I didn't cook it all the way because it's going to crisp up when it's in the oven baking. If you don't want to use bacon, you don't have to. I actually have a soy bacon that I get from a company called Epicure that I swear tastes like bacon, but it's pure soy product. So again, you could make this vegan or vegetarian if you can find a vegan cheese that's any good, which I hear is pretty challenging. So my kids are bacon fans. We know this because they were eating a pound a morning when they were at their grandmother's. And scissors for me just make this quick and easy. Okay. To that, I'm going to add some bacon ranch dressing. No, bacon Caesar dressing. That's why it's like a chicken Caesar pizza. Okay. And that's all that goes in here. And then I'm going to squish it all together. Well, I'm going to zip it up first so I don't make a massive mess. I'm going to squish it all together. This would also be like for little kids, be really great. You could just take a toasted English muffin. They could make their own little pizzas. And you could pop them in the oven or in the microwave to get everything all melted up. So that's that part. And this is perfect for my kids because they don't really prefer the tomato sauce on pizzas. And then, just for fun, I'm going to crumble up some croutons. So I made these from scratch. These are flavored with garlic powder and parsley and olive oil. Because I don't like to waste anything, and I had a couple of pieces of really nice ciabatta bread. So I'm just going to use my meat pounder, and I should have put this in a plastic bag, but I couldn't find it, so we're just going to wing it. And then these are going to get nice and crispy on top of that pizza and just add a little crunch. So basically, I wanted to show you. So I cook all my pizzas on my Pampered Chef pizza stone. If you know Pampered Chef, it's got really incredible stoneware. This one is about 20 years old. I got it right when James and I first got married. It's supposed to be nice and black like this because it's really well seasoned. It makes it non-stick. This is what Pampered Chef stoneware looks like when it first starts. It's all like brown like this, and it seasons much like a cast iron pan does. So the more you cook with it, the more seasoned it gets. So one of the boys, Josh, is off at work today, and he's just getting off at 8, and he's the one in particular who doesn't like the tomato sauce. So I'm going to make this. I didn't mix it up very well. And you might be wondering, no sauce, huh? Well, it has that little bit of Caesar dressing in there. And then between that and the cheese, when you, kind of has a lot of meat to tell you the truth. When you bake this, it is definitely juicy enough. In fact, I had to cut down on the amount of sauce that I put on my last one because it was dripping all over my oven. And then I'm going to take my little croutons and I'm going to put them on top, just kind of for a crunchy surprise. It'll be really nice with that ranch dressing. So this shows you. So I prepped my meals on Friday night. I worked today. The kids put Mississippi pot roast in the crock pot this morning. We came home, well, I came home. They had dinner ready to go. And 20 minutes now, it's 8:16, and I've managed to make a little bit of dinner for Josh, or lunch if he's not hungry. And I have our soup simmering away here. I'm just going to show you. I wish you could smell it, but you can't. But you can see that the lentils have already started to break down a little bit. So you don't even know that they're in there, but they will thicken up that soup. And the sweet potatoes aren't cooked yet, but they probably only need another 10 minutes. And then I would take some chopped cilantro and serve this up. And James may have a bowl. We'll see how his flu's doing. So that was all I wanted to do tonight. I just wanted to come on and share with you how, if you plan ahead and if you stick to your routines, you can get lunch on the table and dinner on the table in no time and still serve really delicious homemade food. So I hope to do this again on Sundays. I make a different soup every Sunday, so come on back and join me for Soup Sundays. Thanks for tuning in.